People pleasing can destroy your art. You know, the thing about being an artist, there's this dynamic to it. Like what you want to share with other people and how they respond. In some cases, react to the shit that you put out here. And it can be kind of tough. You know, I consider myself someone who's been a people pleaser in the closet, if you will. I didn't appear as a people pleaser, but I definitely was one over the years at times because even if I had a disagreement with what was going on my particular scene, sometimes I would just kind of go with the flow. I would still push back, but not enough. And I would look at other people who were performing and, oh man, look how good they are in this. And I'm not paying attention that they've been working out material for years or months. I'm just kind of coming on the scene. And sometimes, well, I started to notice over time that they weren't really pushing themselves anywhere. They were just doing what they thought other people wanted to hear, which is, that's a method, that's a way. But I feel like that's level one creation. I think the ultimate um, test of your artistry is to really just say whatever it is you want to say, but say it in a way that draws people in and makes them want to, continue to follow and hopefully appreciate your work. And, you know, I used to do like really risque performances, whether it's talking about pornography, relationships, uh, just social political issues about the way that people are perceived and all of that. You know, like I said, I've kind of gone my own way, but I've made the mistake of really concentrating a little too much on other people's shit too. You know, like I'm not really interested in talking about something because it's popular or it's political, even though I might kind of cover those areas. Yeah, I'm just, it's like that debate between, art for purpose and art for art's sake. I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm not on the side of art for a specific purpose, nor am I on the side of art for art's sake. I actually do them both. I appreciate both. I think they both should be able to coexist within one artist. I think it's perfectly fine to not be doing what would be the most pleasing to your audience all the time. It's like those preachers who, they'll preach joy and love and the hope of going to heaven and shit, but they're not afraid to, I don't know, preach the church actually getting up and doing something and being worth the fuck. I don't know. I don't know. But it's been a long time since I've been moving around with that crew. That's another story. But anyway, speaking of stories, so there was this artist named Marcel Dunlap, and I believe he's famous for putting a urinal on display at an art gallery, and it was very controversial at the time, and people was like, "What is this? Is this good? Is this even art?" And it was challenging. He wasn't afraid to challenge his audience. And the point that I'm trying to bring home is that it's okay to challenge the audiences that you're putting your work in front of. Okay? Of course, first you have to challenge yourself with something that moves you inside, something that you genuinely are feeling, a direction. And something I was thinking to say on stage, um, likely be on a comedy stage for anything else. Whereas if somebody asked me this question, hey Rob, what direction do you see yourself going artistically? I'm like, you know what? I don't even give a fuck anymore where I'm going artistically. I just want to keep going. Know what I'm talking about? That's all I care about. I like the mystery. I don't have to know where I'm going all the time. All this bullshit is related to some type of market interest or algorithm type of analogies and shit. And I'll be honest with you, I work with all that shit best I can, you know? But I'm not gonna sit here and just create something for creation's sake that doesn't feel like me, that doesn't feel real, you know? So yeah, that people pleasing shit, it destroys your art. Destroys your art because on one hand, if they don't like it and you did it, you got nobody to blame but yourself, and you miserable because you did something you didn't want to do. And if they do love it and you hate it, you got nobody to blame but yourself because you create a bunch of shit that you don't even fuck with. All right, rant over. Peace, y'all.